What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. So a couple days ago I was planning on making this video, which is Traptrix Eldlich. I flipped back and forth on it. My more favorite version, or my favorite version, ended up being like, Traptrix Generator, but this is okay because it does give you different lines of play, different interaction. And obviously the Eldlich engine is so self-sustaining. It's just truly, truly unfortunate that this card only lets you special summon zombies for the rest of the turn after it's resolved, right? Because it is a normal trap, but you can't chain it with Traptrix Sarah, which is the biggest form of dis-synergy. But when you do play the Eldlich version, you can play something like number 41 Baguska, which is like really cool. I used to do this with Salmon Grates too. This card is really great because then during your turn, obviously, you can just turn it into attack position and maybe go for game, whatever the case may be. You can have a lot of fun with the extra deck too as well. I think I run Super Poly in this build, which is pretty nice. Harpy's Feather Dusters, I just love that card. And also you set up hard negates too, which is a great thing. Although Generators does too technically, but obviously like everything is searchable, and this puts a lot of pressure on the board. Generators, in my opinion, is better, but this duel actually does show off some pretty cool stuff. This is like one of my favorite just interactions like of the whole like duels that I'm going to show you here. So obviously that's going to get negated, which is pretty nice. And then the drill driver can turn into a 2-pop Zeus. And then you can, I was able to summon Eldlich basically by tributing this bottomless trap hole. Because this was in the graveyard, I can banish it and set it. I think it's a pretty nice interaction. It gives me another form of disruption, obviously. I'm trying to prevent him from normal summoning here. He ends up just going straight for it, which is pretty cool. I will bottomless trap hole that. I do have follow-up play, so it's not like the end of the world. This is going to get, sent back to the extra deck, but I'm probably going to another copy. And yeah, like it was at the end of the game, right? So all I needed was put a body on the board, and I was good to go. Okay, so we can just go over all the other ones now. It is really, like, having Eldlich in hand is just so good. And for a while, I was experimenting running, like, all these different Traptrix monsters. Really, I actually should have summoned Mantis to add the Dionys. So it didn't work out that way, but that's okay. He sends the Traptrix Sarah. All right. I will negate the search with Seek. Pretty important. He does have personal spoofing, though, so goes ahead and goes there. Still has the Solemn Judgment as well. Bottomless Trap Hole, Conquistador just kind of sitting there. That's kind of the reasons why I don't like this deck as much, because like this could be the Generator Trap, which really gets my plays going, but it ended up being okay anyways. I still have plenty of plays. If only they had more normal traps in Eldlich. All right, there we go. Here comes the Dionea. Dionea is going to try to search special summon back the I think we could call this Marshmallow from now on. Murmello would have popped the back row, but I can just summon again. So that's pretty awesome. He's going to draw a couple cards, goes into infinite permanence on Lost Wind, but there isn't going to be a next turn. Whether it's Eldlich or Generator, I do run the Utopia package, so that was pretty neat. Okay, so I know I'm going, second this time. He starts with the Link Karibo. Alright. I have 2 Lightning Storm. He does go for the Dark Rye, but I have another copy. I almost feel bad. But not that bad. But he does go into a Scythe as well, and that's really where, well, Generators also doesn't go into the extra deck, and that's why I really like those supplemental engines, whether it's Eldlich, or Generator, like being able to just play when you can't, like, because Scythe is being main deck so much, it doesn't end the duel for you. Although these aren't doing anything for me right now. Honestly, this deck is just okay. It's decent. I can activate another Lightning Storm. I draw all 3. Are you kidding me? Okay, and then I can go ahead and, special summon that out, go into Utopia and the duel. And we'll just go over, like, Monarchs too. So, Domain Locked. Let's see how I can play against this. Unit Camouflite. Infinite Impermanence. I can't be targeted, so this is, like, pretty good, right? I can't special summon. Neither of us can, but alright, so we'll go ahead and get rid of this. Then I can activate the effect of the Infinite Impermanence. So I did have to have 2 forms of removal, but you run a lot of hand traps in these decks, no matter what version of it is. So it's not like you're getting lucky by opening so many hand traps, so like you're legitimately just playing that many. And I think this is actually just game, because I do have the extra 800 attack here. This, like, none of this Utopia stuff says that you can't attack with other monsters. You just can't attack directly. You know, with Utopia specifically. You can attack directly with all the other monsters. So very, like, unrestrictive in that little interaction there. Here is the other duel against Monarchs. I think this one's kind of insane, actually. Okay, so I feel pretty good, right? I mean, I have time space, which, well, that's not going to do anything unless he special summons from the hand, which he isn't. This is literally the only time I'm going to be able to use this, right? I can go ahead and set the time space trap hole again, which is fine. Bottomless trap hole should be pretty good. Although maybe I should have saved it, to be honest with you. I think I should have searched one of the other ones. Yeah, maybe the grave I can like set to the field. Because I don't think I'm going to use this next turn. Although, the more I think about it, if he does go into Ether next turn, which I don't know if he is, that would be a good kind of time to do that. Alright, so here's the situation. I cannot special summon, and I'm locked out of the extra deck. Let's see how I'm able to get rid of, you know, through this. Plus, I can't target his cards. Cursed Eldlich can go ahead and search me here. I can normal summon the Marshmallow. Then I can get rid of the domain, so I'm working through it a little bit. I can't normal summon just quite yet, but I'll go to the end phase. I still have plenty of disruption during his turn, so... Although, the more I think about it, actually, I should have just kept Cursed Eldlich. I mean, I did end up drawing into a Spell or Trap, which was a really high chance, but if I kept the Cursed Eldlich there, you know, I would have been able to search another trap to, like, send it. But there we go. I have just completely worked my way through this duel. This is like a really good example of like why, like the ceiling of this deck, like how good it can be. I'm going to go ahead and get right over the Traptrix Era. That's all right. It was really just there as a threat. And he's going to go ahead and set the Eidos. I can banish this, go ahead and set the Golden Land Forever. So I'm really setting myself up here. That can go to the graveyard. All he has is this Ether. And I have the pop for the field spell if it does end up, you know, coming into play. I can pop this now. So I'm really starting to take over. Because in my mind, I was thinking like this was, I can't think of the stupid card name now. The trap that negates everything. If he isn't playing it, he's super duper cracked. Unreal. That's the best card in the deck. He's just going for the domain lock pure. I do not agree with that at all. Pretty sure this can just turn into a Zeus if need be, but you know, I still have plenty of follow-up play. Like this is kind of a last case scenario threat type of thing. So this is going to go ahead and normal summon the Ether. I will bottomless trap hole that so he doesn't have a tribute summon monster. He does go for the Kuraz. Kuraz pops to the Golden Land Forever, or he tries to. I'm going to negate that. I just want to keep the Zeus online if I need it. If these go to the graveyard, like who cares? It literally doesn't matter. Plus, I can get the effect anyways. So this deck works better with Zeus. Like you kind of like always have board presence with generators. With this, it's like who cares, right? And then that was enough for lethal. Or yes, it is because I had the Caro too. Whew, too good. I actually like this deck. The more I'm looking at it, the more I like it, right? All right, so looks like I'm playing Odd Eyes. I might as well just show everything. I don't actually care about Droll here. This deck doesn't search a whole lot. If it did, it would be Cursed Eldlich, and that's it. All right, so no monster effects for him this turn, plus the Gravedigger's Trap Hole. I can go ahead and negate the effect of the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. Can't activate these effects, but still triggers no matter what. Which is pretty nice. And this can't be in defense position, so good synergy there. I'm out of disruption this turn, so we'll see what I end up making of, you know, what I'm doing here. Well, he still doesn't have... I still have, like, a really big floodgate, so it's not like I'm in a bad spot. That obviously cannot happen. And I did get the Cursed Eldlich this turn. It's kind of nice. You know, this is an extra blank card in the hand, so I can use this and, you know, start getting rid of these cards. Can't activate that effect. Alright, we'll go ahead and special summon this card. I have a lot of board presence here now. And I haven't even normal summoned this turn, if you can believe that. I can set this, but there probably isn't going to be a next turn. Castel can go ahead and shuffle that back into the deck. And I do have a Boral Sword Dragon, so... Even though they both use Traptrix, this deck and generators, they're like very like genuinely differently built. It's a completely different strategy. Boral Sword Dragon's still very good. in the right decks. This is against just, I guess, random. I was running Pot of Prosperity. Oh, this is the old version. This is with, you know, Dogmatic. I didn't like it that much. It was just, it just felt like so generic, you know. It's just like Traptrix.deck. I wanted to do something a little different. I do have the Forbidden Droplets, which isn't really bad. He didn't go into the Sky Striker like the regular like Ray, so being able to send that back into the extra deck is actually really, really good. He keeps negating the effect of Sarah, but I don't know, it doesn't really do anything, you know, for me. Like, it's like, that's fine, sure, go ahead. Here we go. He does get the Ray now, so I'm in a little bit of a weird spot. Attack directly. We'll see what he sends. He doesn't go for the engage just quite yet. He has a lot of board presence, but I think that's going to end up hurting him, to be honest with you. Like, these zones are just kind of taken up now. And I'll special summon an Eldlich from the deck. Still have the Forbidden Droplets. I have another one, too. And I will negate just so I can, you know, use this effect, which is pretty nice. So Time Space Trap Hole is going to be there. So it's pretty cool to be able to just send that so I can use the effect, right? To set that again. Here comes the multi-roll. He's going to, you know, free up his zones finally. I'm going to send that back once again. And then I knew he was going to go for the Ray, so I did have the follow-up too. I did have to have 2 forms of disruption, but it's all right. So he's got the Widow Anchor. I think he's going to be able to take control. I will special summon here. And he's just going to, like, it's just going to negate the effect. So, all right, cool. That doesn't really do anything, right? Here is Virtual World. Why not? I have a very Eldlich heavy hand, of course. No Traptrix at all. But that's not the end of the world. Certainly gives me some powerful Eldlich plays. And I think he's going to get a full Eldlich type of board. I don't want him to be able to go into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is a Pot of Desires. As long as I can avoid him getting Chuche, I think I'm going to be A-okay. This goes for Constellar, and this card's great. I mean, just being able to, you can add this back to your hand. That's awesome, man. I actually have not seen Constellar used this way. You know, the bounce effect is good, you know, just in general, but yeah. Okay, so he's going to go for the Kaliga. He does draw into a Chuche. Like, how lucky is that? He doesn't even banish, like, anything, you know, worthwhile, too. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, but I did send it to the graveyard, you know, with the Eldlich, which is pretty nice. And I do have the negate, so during the standby phase, I'm probably going to, I guess I could have waited here, but really I should have activated this in the standby. That way I had the Omni negate online. But it's cooler to do it this way because you get to tribute the Golden Land Forever, which is a little better, or you get to tribute the Conquistador with the Golden Land Forever, which is nice. Caro, this actually could come in handy because of the Niang Niang. And I was starting to just take over, man, because next was Traptrix was coming, which is awesome. And this is another duel. Like, this is the last duel, and this is against Sky Strikers again. Looks like he has a pretty good hand. You're never going to go play into Nibiru, especially with this deck. And any other deck, too. Generators doesn't, which is cool because a lot of people probably main deck it. Gamma also isn't great. I mean, unless he really, really holds it, so. Alright, so Gamma Seal there. And I just go ahead and pass turn. I'm starting to main deck Gamma Seal. Or not main deck it. I'm starting to side deck it in all mine. It feels like we're getting towards that format, right? Well, you just got to get rid of something. It's actually especially great against Phoenix because it's not destroyed, right? So it's not going to come back. It'd be interesting to see how much people use that. This is actually also like a really cool interaction, you know, with the Visculo to be able to send Eldlich traps. So it's not like they're completely opposite from each other. They do have some synergy, and it does work for the most part. And I can go ahead and negate that, which is pretty nice. And I think I probably just go into Zeus, if I'm guessing. No, but I can't negate some attacks, so like his Ayate is not going to go through. Funny enough. So there we go. Boom. Just like that. He can't send it to the graveyard. Like, the Utopia is pretty nice, right? Tries to go into Selene. I will pop this before he gets any spell counters on it. And boom. He did still have like a few plays, but nothing too great. I mean, I actually wasn't gonna activate any monster effects at all. And yeah, that was Traptrix Eldlich. I figured I might as well release it today. Why not? A little extra bonus video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's gonna do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.